All right, Aquarius, this wasn't bad, but a lot of you are out of sync with whatever is going on in your life right now or whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish. And Grace is saying that we need to get back to the simplicity of everything. So the spiral dancer did show up as a challenge for you, but this isn't, like things are going in a downward spiral. It's just, for some of you, you may be so busy and so overwhelmed with everything, and Grace kind of reinforces that you may be falling out of step with where you feel like you're headed, or like I said, what you're trying to accomplish. Grace is talking about, again, how you may be overwhelmed and feeling pressured by the responsibilities that you may have or what you are trying to achieve. It talks about being isolated, but it's saying that, simplicity, getting back to, the simple beauty and grace of everything is going to be more important right now. But I feel like, there's like this dance obviously going on. And where you were graceful with something, you're not so much anymore. And it may be that you need to look at the path that you're on. It may not be something that feels right for you anymore. For others of you, it is the right path. It's just you're out of step with it. And the simple feelings and the simple motivations is what needs to return. Things have gotten a little bit too overwhelming. All right, Aquarius, here's your overall. The Two of Wands. Okay. So this is about needing to make a choice about what course of action you're going to take. For some of you, it is now needing to start working toward the things that you're planning. I love the Two of Wands in that it is about creating your world the way that you see it. It's like you have an empty canvas right now. Now, for some of you, it may be that you want to change direction, but there is a choice that is going to have to be made on a course of action. Oh boy, in the past, the Lovers. So with the Lovers being the past, I kind of feel like you're separated. And I'm not saying that you're separated from a relationship or another person. You are in two different places. So your mind is in one spot and your heart is in another. And it's really about, unifying that. And I feel like for some of you, you're just not there. And that could have to do with a relationship. We could be talking about, where is this relationship going? But I don't know, I get a stronger sense that you just don't feel unified in the way that you're thinking and how, your heart is responding to, what you are wanting. For some of you, there is this feeling of being out of sync with a partner, but we'll see here. Okay. So with the world being in the present moment, we're getting closure on some things, and we're talking about, the major chapter in your life coming to an end. And this could be that, a relationship has been not on track for quite some time. And it may be that, we need to close this chapter, but it's really about you making the choice here to take that next step to do this, especially with the Two of Wands being the overall here. But we'll see what's going on in your environment. But this is a big thing for you. And this may be, for some of you, I kind of get the feeling that if this is about a relationship, there may have been unity at one point in the past, but with the world, it's like in the Two of Wands, now you're starting to see that, this isn't exactly in harmony with you anymore. It's like it separates you. It separates, the kind of like integration between your heart and your mind and your soul. That's kind of what I feel like here, but we'll see what's going on in your environment. This is a big thing. This is a big relationship. And I think a lot of you are starting to see that it's put you on a different course. Like, nothing ever lasts forever. That's what I want to say. And this may be one of those situations, but it's happening for a reason, right? And it's setting you on a different path. Now, for some of you, if you've been single for a while, this is you being in two different places. Your heart and your mind are in two different places when it comes to, what you are wanting in terms of a significant relationship. a partnership, the unity, right? Like, I don't know why, but unity is sticking out here. And it's like needing to make a choice to get to that, but something has to come to a close. Okay. Future conditions, the Hermit. Now, this does look like, you're going your own way. If this is about a past relationship, it may be that this is something that you just needed closure on. And now you need a minute to kind of reflect on things, but you're making the choice to kind of go your own way. And I also look at the Hermit and think you don't need any kind of outside validation to tell you where you need to go. The answers are within you. And this is what you're doing here in future conditions. You're taking a time out to yourself to really deeply consider where your star is leading you. But a choice is still going to have to be made here on what to do. So eventually you're going to have to come out of Hermit mode. Your best path to follow, the Six of Pentacles. Even it up. Even it up. It's funny because I just heard that song on the radio the other day at work. And for those of you who don't know, I love Heart. Love Heart. But that's the first thing that came to my mind was even it up, right? So if a situation is not balanced, then this may be that before you're able to make a choice, it's like it's not necessarily making things right in a justice type of way. It's just evening the situation out before you can make a decision. I think that might be easier for you. Now, for others of you, it's, looking at a situation where you are not receiving what you have put out. Right. And this is like what is fair, what is balanced, very much like justice, but it's not that there needs to be any kind of wrongs corrected. But we are looking at the Pentacles, so we're talking about, what is tangible, what is real. So it may be that you really need to look at what you have been getting versus what you've been giving. But I still feel this need to kind of like balance the situation here as best as you can before you take a course of action. In your environment, the Eight of Pentacles, and I'm looking at these and I'm looking at all the hard work that you may have been putting into a partnership or putting into what you love, and you feeling disconnected from that. And with the World here, it's time to stop putting so much effort into a situation that makes you feel torn. And I don't know why this is coming up, but it's like you just can't get those two parts of yourself to be unified in moving forward. So it's time for big closure here. And it may be that this isn't worth putting in the effort in anymore if you're not getting anything back, And it's not like you're looking to have somebody pay you back what they owe you. It's not about that. It's just we want to make things nice and balanced here before you choose a different path. But yeah, I'm looking at, the ending of a situation where you've had to put in a lot of effort, but I don't think that this person is very happy with it. Your hopes and your fears, the Three of Cups. Okay, so, with this one, what I'm feeling more so than anything is Aquarius, because of the card. And when you look at it, it's like somebody is giving their attention to one person, but not to another. You may be a part of a group of people where you're not getting the kind of recognition that you deserve. For some of you, it may be third-party situations and you don't want to be the third party anymore. Or you don't want to be somebody's second choice. That would be the fear. The hope there would be that, you find the support that you need. And it may be that, you need to look at what else is around you, who else is around you, because it may be about making a choice here, making a choice in terms of a major relationship. But some of you may be fearing that the disconnect has to do with the fact that you're not exactly getting the support or the attention that you need. And there may be a fear of that continuing if you make a choice. That may be what is putting you like on the fence on moving forward. For others of you, it's hoping for, that celebration, and it may be that you don't want to be in a committed situation. It may be that you just want to have a good time and see, what else is open to you. Now, for some of you, it may be that you're fearing opening yourself up to other people. But you don't want to be in situations where it requires so much effort on your part. That chapter in your life is coming to a close. And you don't need outside validation to tell you what's right for you. But at the same time, there's this need to have, support. And then coming out the Hangman. So whatever it is that you're choosing on right now, and I do feel like for a lot of you, this is about a major relationship, you're going to be in a place of needing to have some enlightenment. It's not that, you're purposely putting a situation on hold. And I do think that this is you, because you're the one that's faced with the choice of action here. You are going within, but eventually you're going to have to come out of this and you're going to have to take action, make a choice, but doing it from a place where things are equal. But I think that coming out here, you're going to be in a position of, I need to see more. And then you have the Emperor. So, it is about needing to come out of this here and take control of what you are choosing to do. And again, I'm looking at options here with the Seven of Cups and the Three of Cups. I had a feeling that this had to do with what else is around you. So for some of you, you may have come out of a really painful ending in a major relationship here, but it's left you in a place where, and it explains why you don't have this unity within you in terms of your heart and your mind when it comes to love. So with the World, it's still a situation that you're needing to get closure on, and you may be working on that, but we're also talking about the end of you putting in so much effort into relationships where you're not getting equal return. The thing is with the Seven of Cups, though, there may be a lot of fantasizing about what could be, but you not actually making a choice here. And the thing is I think that the way that Aquarius is looking at it, especially if you've come out of a painful ending in relationships, you're kind of looking at it like things just don't, or people even don't live up to an expectation that you have in your mind. But the thing is that's not real. That's just how you fantasize and see things. The other part of this is the options, being open to the other options that are around you, but you may be in a place of fearing opening yourself up to that. It's really about being in a place where you're more content to fantasize about things rather than actually acting on them. And I think that a lot of you kind of look at the way that you see other people and the possibility of other relationships is just, it's nice to think about, but it's not really something that you want to act on given your past experience, which kind of makes sense. But the message with the Seven of Cups is, right? You need to make sure that you're making the best choice for yourself, but it is time to choose something here and start taking a course of action. But that may be because of other people that are around you that may show interest in you. And I kind of get that a little bit with the Three of Cups, but there's fear that comes along with that. It's almost like, it reminds me of having Neptune in the 7th house. But the thing is you're not going to blind yourself to the faults and flaws of others anymore. And that the way that you see certain relationships may be just based on fantasy. Wow. And then you have the Emperor, where it is going to be time for you to make a choice here, to step up, to take control, right? It's time to take that leadership position in your life, choose a course of action and go for it. Even if that means that you decide to be on your own for a while. And the thing is, Aquarius, is I feel like now is not the time for you to get involved with any serious relationships, I think is the best way to put this. Because if it requires a lot of effort, I don't think that it's something that you want to give to. Not again, right? But if we are talking about a relationship that is ending in a really difficult way, again, it is about, well, how do you see your world now? What course of action are you going to take? But things need to be more equal. We need to even out the situation here before you can actually take action towards something else. But yeah, that Seven of Cups has, and it's funny because you have the Hangman, right? It has the feeling of Neptune playing a part in this. Now, you want to be careful, though, about people that are coming around you, right? That kind of live in this place of fantasy, but not really wanting to take control of the situation. And it may be that. And then solitude. In silence, peace prevails. So yeah, it's like needing to continue to go through the difficult terrain, if I could talk right, but overcoming the obstacles that have been placed in front of you. And as long as you keep going forward, then you will find peace, but more so inner peace and inner silence, like quieting this feeling of being separate, right? And not having that unity. I keep going back to that. But it makes sense with the Hermit. You need a timeout. You need to be at peace with your thoughts so that you can see the clear direction. You know, what was the initial hope, right? Because I always think of the star being in the lantern. But this may be about a situation where moving forward is not the best thing right now. Not until you feel like you're in control of, you know, your fantasies surrounding what you're expecting. You know, but eventually you're going to get to a place where there needs to be some order and stability here, and you need to step up. And you're going to have to make a choice here.